We are confident that we are reading Title IX consistent with what was expected, which is providing opportunities, not discriminating against trans girls. The President disagrees, the Department of Justice disagrees, and so we're going to be seeing them in court to litigate over what Title IX means.
On Friday afternoon, Maine Attorney General Frey stopped by our Bangor station to speak one-on-one with me about the Department of Justice's lawsuit against the state of Maine over alleged violations of Title IX, a 1972 education amendment that prohibits sex-based discrimination in education programs.
The state of Maine has been sued by the Department of Justice because they're concerned with the way in which we're following the law when it comes to Title IX, the Maine Human Rights Act, and the way in which we provide the opportunity for trans girls to participate in girls' sports.
It's only been since Wednesday, April 16th, since U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi announced that the Department of Justice will be filing a lawsuit against the state of Maine.
The state of Maine is discriminating against women by failing to protect women in women's sports. Pretty basic stuff.
In less than 3 weeks, the state of Maine will need to respond. He says him and his office remain steadfast in their interpretation of Title IX.
I expect it's just going to be the state of Maine putting its answer together, which is basically a legal way of saying why we think that the Department of Justice is wrong, why we're confident in our read of Title IX and the Maine Human Rights Act, and why we think that what they're doing is inappropriate by suing Maine over the way in which we allow transgender students to participate in school sports.
Attorney General Frey spoke to what Mainers should expect from his office, which will be representing the state in court.
My office, the state of Maine, we're going to be upholding the rule of law the way we understand it. We're going to make sure that Title IX and the Maine Human Rights Act, that the discrimination protections that they offer, that they're fully fulfilled. We're going to demonstrate in court that we are confident as to why we believe that not only are we right in our reading, but also that the cases that have come down interpreting Title IX support our position. Mainers should know that we're not going to stand for any discrimination, and we're going to hold the Trump administration accountable under the rule of law.
Attorney General Frey says him and his office believes the state of Maine has been targeted by the DOJ ever since Governor Mills and President Trump's February 21st exchange.
See you in court. Every state, good, I'll see you in court.
Since that exchange, several of Maine's federal funds have been cut.
We've stripped grants from Maine through other departments, and we are going to continue to fight for women.
We do not believe that the President of the United States is following the law on this one. We think Maine's being targeted by the Department of Justice, as we've seen since there was the exchange between the President and Maine's governor back in February.
One of Attorney General Frey's concerns throughout this has been the attention drawn towards students for the use of political score.
This is a policy discussion. The policy discussion should take place in the Maine legislature. It should take place in Congress. Where it shouldn't take place is by posting pictures of students on Facebook, pointing to them and saying, this is why, things are wrong in your life. There's a lot of issues going on out there in the world. There's a crashing economy because of crushing tariffs. There's egg prices that we can't afford. There's a defense secretary who can't keep, war plans secret. A suit against these students is a distraction, and it's using children as a way to make their point. We can keep children out of this and still talk about what Title IX and the Maine Human Rights Act provide for protections without putting pictures of trans students online and pointing to them saying this is your problem. I am concerned, right? This is about providing access. It's not about providing the opportunity to win medals. I mean, the one thing that I know when I was participating in sports, it was about the ability to learn camaraderie, to learn how to win and lose, to learn, how to work as part of a team. And quite frankly, a lot of work's going into safety and privacy of all students, regardless of how they identify. Here we can have the conversation about what Title IX and the Maine Human Rights Act should provide without taking pictures of children and putting them out there online to make everybody target them. We don't need that. We can have a conversation, leave the kids out of it.
In Bangor, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.